What's up, Star Wars fans? We had some interesting news break yesterday that I think could have major implications for the Filoniverse, especially when it comes to the Ahsoka Tano series. So first, let's dive into the news, and then we'll get to that speculation on the Ahsoka show. And today, to help me out, I'll be reading from thedirect.com, my favorite source of Star Wars news, where writer Andrew Gilman states, among the characters introduced in the series was a woman named Mika Gray, an archaeologist seeking out the same artifacts as Kylo Ren in the interest of keeping them out of the First Order hands. End quote. And yes, the series referred to here is Star Wars Resistance, the animation show, but the Direct.com article goes on to tell us that Mika Gray was actually going to be another character, one that we all love from the Clone Wars series. Again, Andrew Gilman writes in an interview on the Friends of the Force podcast, Star Wars Resistance head writer and executive producer Brandon Auman revealed that Mika Gray's character was originally intended to be Asajj Ventress, an idea that came from Dave Filoni himself. He goes on here to quote Brandon, who said on the podcast, "We had Mika Gray, who originally early on was actually Asajj Ventress in the storyline, an older version of Asajj Ventress, and that was Filoni's idea. And we were even going to have a scene where Asajj Ventress takes on Kylo Ren. That was something we had discussed early on." End quote. Now, of course, we all know that Dave Filoni changed his mind about that. The character was changed, and Asajj Ventress wasn't included in Resistance. But here's the absolutely crazy thing about this news. If we look at the timeline, Asajj Ventress has already died. But not only that, she died in a book that was based on the Clone Wars arc that we were going to see in season 7 or 8 of the Clone Wars, where basically her and Quinlan Vos team up to take down Count Dooku. And unfortunately, it sounds like Dave Filoni was completely willing to forget about the novel and rewrite the history of Asajj Ventress. And although I'm really disappointed that Dave Filoni would go ahead and disregard what happened in a novel, I think what's interesting is that means we could see Asajj Ventress in the Filoniverse. I mean, if he was willing to use her in Star Wars Resistance, I'm sure Dave Filoni would love to use her in live action. And who would make a great antagonist for the Ahsoka series? Well, none other than Asajj Ventress. Now keep in mind that we have moved beyond the news. This is pure speculation. I'm not saying that Asajj Ventress is going to be the antagonist of the Ahsoka Tano series, but hey, it does make sense that Dave Filoni is going to bring in some sort of Force user on the side of Thrawn and the Empire. I mean, look at the good guys. We got Luke Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano. And yes, if we look at the rumors, it certainly seems like Thrawn is going to be a major antagonist in the Ahsoka Tano series. And Thrawn, hey, he's a master tactician, but what he's not is a Force user. And to bring somebody like Asajj Ventress, or maybe even Barriss Offee, back into the universe for the Ahsoka series, I think it makes a lot of sense. We need some sort of antagonist that can go toe-to-toe with Ahsoka. But again, the actual facts and news here is that Dave Filoni was more than willing to bring back Asajj Ventress for Star Wars Resistance, even though she had already died at that point in the timeline. And of course, my crazy speculation on top of that news is that we might actually see her in the Filoniverse. But hey, Star Wars fans, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Will we see Asajj Ventress return in the Filoniverse? As always, I'm Mike. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.